Hare Krishna. Satyananda Jinta Satyega Pakshe Sarvadhyakshe Bhakti Rakshadidakshe Shri Govinde Vishwasargadikande Purnanande Nityamastam Matirme Agyananiradirupaidya Vishesham Bhakti Paravajati Pariposhamuchaihi Tattvam Param Spurati Durgamam Prajashram Sadgunya Brutsvarachitam Pranamami Gitam Gauram Sukasatkumada Pramodhi Swabhikya Gostamo Nihanta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sudani Dharme Manoditishtan Swaratim Karotu Prachina Vachasu Vicharya Soham Agyopi Gita Murtale Salipshuhu Yata Prabho Reva Made Tatra Santakshamadvam Sharanagatasya Swadharmanyana Vairagya Sadhya Bhaktyeva Gocharaha Narayanah Parabrahma Gita Shastre Samiritaha Jnana Karmatmike Nishte Yoga Lakshet Sanskrute Atma Anubhuti Siddharte Purva Shadkena Chotite Yatma Asanga Karmeha Gocharaha Sankhya Yoga Dhiditiye Sadi Lakshya Prokta Tanmoha Shantaye. Hare Krishna, welcome you all for this Gita Shastri course. Today we are in the 17th day and today we will be discussing shloka number, second chapter, shloka number 12 and 13. So in the last session, we have discussed about Krishna's first instruction about Gatasana Gatasungscha Nanuso Chandi Panditaha. So in the first shloka itself, Krishna has chastised Arjuna that you are talking like a Pandita, but actually Pandita means you should understand three things. You should understand Upaya, you should understand Upeya, you should understand Virodhi. So if you cannot understand these three things, then why do you talk like a Pandit? You speak like Shastra, but again you are speaking, again you are contradicting yourself, and then you speak like an ignorant person. You speak like the believer of the soul, and then you lament for the bodies. You speak like you believe in next life, and then you lament for not performing your duties. So in this way, Krishna has shown him, Arjuna, that how he's wrong. And then now Krishna starts explaining the Bhagavad Gita, the 12th shloka. This is a very important shloka because in this shloka, many acharyas like Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, and then our Gaudiya Sampradaya acharyas, they have established their Siddhanta, like Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, Dvaita, Veda, Bheda. So all the philosophies are established in this first shloka of the Bhagavad Gita. First shloka means here Krishna starts instructing about the Atma. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaivana bhavishyama sarve vayamatah param. So here Krishna is saying, he's speaking about three things. He's speaking about himself, he's speaking about Arjuna, and he's speaking about all the kings. So here Krishna wanted to establish the eternity of the soul. So Krishna, in order to show the soul is eternal, he has to make a comparison. So in this world, nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. Nothing is eternal. So Krishna puts himself in the scale, and then he says, these Jivatmas, they are just like me. They are eternal. So just to make this point that we are all eternal, Krishna puts himself. Otherwise, Krishna doesn't have to bring himself in this subject matter. But still, in order to prove, in order to show the greatness of the soul, because already we have seen that here in shlokas from 12 to 30, the greatness of the soul is explained. When you know the greatness of the soul, then you have this eagerness to realize the soul. Then you will find a path to reach that soul. And then whatever is obstructing to reach that soul, you will try to remove that, and then you will go for the goal. So that is the actual understanding of Pandita. So Krishna wants to make Arjuna a Pandita. Pandita means one who knows the goal, one who knows the ways, and who avoids the blockages which is blocking him in reaching that goal. So he's called Pandita. So here the goal is Atma. So in order to gain that Atma Jnana, you should understand the greatness of the soul. If you understand the greatness of the soul, then you will have this desire to reach that soul. Then you will try to find a path to reach that soul, and then you will try to avoid whatever obstacles comes on the way to reach that soul. So here Krishna is speaking about the eternity of the soul, and he compares the soul with Ishvara. He says we are all eternal. We are all eternal in this world. Natvevaham jatanasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaivana bhavishyamaha sarve vayavatah param. Natvevaham jatanasam natvam neme janadipaha. Here Krishna speaks in an Upanishadic language. He speaks in a very indirect way. That is, myself, you, all this king, we always exist. We never cease to exist, and we will exist in the future also. So in this way, he's speaking two negative words. We never be in a time that we never exist. There was never been a time that we never exist. There will be never a time that we will not exist. That we are all existing now. So in this way, by means of presenting two negative sentence, you come to a positive sentence. Like we say, this devotee is he's doing very good service. This is just direct sentence. And then if you want to make it a strong sentence, you will say, there is no one in this temple who does service like this devotee, who does all the service like none other. So by means of making this two negative sentence, you make the sentence more stronger. In this way, Krishna also says, speaks two negative sentence in order to make it, like we have minus into minus plus. So Krishna makes two negative sentence and he makes the shloka stronger, the point stronger. So here, Atma is Nitya. Atma is always existing. Atma never destroyed, and Atma is never born. That is the ultimate thing that Krishna wanted to establish. He speaks about three things again. So there are three tattvas in this material world, in this whole creation. That is Chit, Achit, Ishvara. There are only three tattvas. That is Jivatma, Paramatma, and Prakriti. There are only three tattvas. So this is what Vaishnavas we speak. There is only three tattvas. But if you go to Brahmavadis, Mayavadis, they speak about only one tattva. That is Brahma. So that's why they always say Nirvishesha Kutastha Chinmatra Brahma Eka Tattvam. That is their Mahamantra. That is Nirvishesha Kutastha Chinmatra Advitiya Brahma Eka Tattvam. That is what they say. That is Lord, there is nothing except Brahman. So, but we don't accept that. We accept there are three tattvas, but they accept there is only one tattva. That is Brahman itself. So here we should understand how Acharyas they explain different philosophies here. Like they give an example that when Adi Shankara was plucking flowers for his puja, he was plucking flowers like Ekam. Usually we say for accounting we say Ekam, Dve, Trini, Chatvari, Pancha. But when Adi Shankara, when he was plucking the flower, he was saying Ekam, 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 Ekam. Then Mother Aryam was calling him, hey, you don't know other than Ekam? You don't know Dve, Trini, Chatvari? Then Adi Shankara says, I never see the second thing. I see only one thing in this material world. I see only Brahman. I don't see anything else. So that's why they always say Ekam, Ekam, Ekam. It's like it has when you say how they explain this Ekatvavada or oneness. There is nothing except in this world except Brahman. For that, they take three kinds of statements. For them, the three kinds of statements establishes this Brahmavada, oneness. They say Aham Brahmasmi, and then Sarvam Halavidam Brahma, and Tattvamasi. These three statements, they take it, and there is the Mahavakya for them from the Vedas. So Adi Shankara, he explains in this material, in this whole creation, there are three kinds of difference, three kinds of Veda. If you want to make a Veda, the difference, there are three kinds of Veda. What are the three kinds of Veda? One is Sajadiya Veda, the second one is Vijadiya Veda, and third one is Swagata Veda. These three kinds of Veda exist. What is that? Sajadiya Veda. Sajadiya Veda means the difference among its own group. That is, like, for example, we say trees. Trees means there are varieties of tree. We have coconut tree, we have palm tree, we have banyan tree, we have different kinds of trees. So in the group of trees, there are various kinds of trees. So it's called Sajatiya Veda. And there is called Vijatiya Veda. Vijatiya Veda means there is a difference between tree, mountain, hill, water, whatever. There is Veda among different jatis. That is called Vijatiya Veda. And that is third one is called Swagata Bheda. Swagata Bheda means the difference in ourselves. That is like when you say tree, tree has trunk, tree has leaves, tree has flowers, tree has fruits, tree has different leaves. So they are all tree, but trunk is not leaf, leaf is not fruit, fruit is not flower, flower is not root, root is not trunk. So there is a difference in the tree itself. So we can find the Veda in this way, the three kinds of Veda, three kinds of differences. So Adi Shankara, he says these three kinds of Veda doesn't exist in Brahman. Why? Because there is no Jivatma. Because when we say Sajadiya Veda, we should accept there is something like Lord. Sajadiya Veda means same Jati. So who is just like Lord? No one is just like Lord. So they don't accept Jivatma. When you say Jivatma, then there is a difference between Jivatma and Paramatma. They are all same Jati because Atma Jati, and there is a difference between Atma and Jivatma and Paramatma. But Adi Shankara, he denies there is no Jivatma, so there is no Sajatiya Bheda. There is no Vijatiya Bheda because there is no Prakriti itself. Everything is Lord only. So they say no Vigata Bheda also, because everything is ultimately Lord's expansion, Lord's Sarvam Kalavida Brahma. And then they say inside Lord there is no quality also. Nirvishesha Kutastha Chinmatra Advitiya Brahmam Trividarahita. That is what they explain. So in this way, he denies these three statements with the help of three Vedic statements. That is Sajatiya, Vijatiya, and Swagata Veda by Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. There is nothing like soul. I am that Brahman. And then when you say that in this world we see Prakriti, so there is a difference between Prakriti and Jiva. No, they don't accept that because Sarvam Kalavidam Brahman, everything is Brahman ultimately. And then when we say, no, inside Lord, there are many qualities. No, I am that Lord. Tattvam Masi, you are that Lord. There is nothing like other qualities other than the Lord. So in this way, they explain the oneness of the Brahman. And then they say how it looks like there are many souls exist. How can you say, how can you deny there is only one soul? Then they give an example that there is a moon on the sky, and then the moon reflects on a small pot, and then the moon reflects on a river, and then the moon reflects on ocean, the moon reflects on the pond, the moon reflects on my water glass, the moon reflects on my mirror, the moon gets reflected on my shield, the moon gets reflected on my floor. So it's only one moon, but it gets reflected on various bodies. So it appears like there are many moons. So in a similar way, there is only one Brahman, and that one Brahman is getting reflected in all kinds of body. So there is nothing like different bodies. Everything is false, and only Brahma. Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Jivo Brahmaika Naparaha. This is how they say. Everything is false. So if everything is false, there is a beautiful story. What happens once? Advaita Acharya, he was teaching, and then he was walking in the forest along with his disciple. And then suddenly a tiger started chasing the group. The guru started running, and the disciples, they started running in different way. And ultimately they got escaped from the tiger and they met. Now the disciples are asking, "Oh Guruji, you said everything is false. So why do you run from the tiger? Then Guru explained, you see, you didn't understand Advaita properly. See, the tiger, it was chasing, that is also false. And we were running, that is also false. And we were fearful, that is also false. And the question that you are asking me, that is also false. So everything is false. So in this way, they tactically speak with the help of Nyaya, with the help of Tarka, they try to establish the truth, but the truth doesn't stand for a long time. For this, Acharyas, they give various explanations. We have Ramanuja, we have Madhva, we have even in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, Jiva Goswami, we have Baladev Vidyabhushan, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. They have written so many granthas to refute this Mayavada philosophy. And here for this shloka, Yamunacharya, Ramanujacharya, and Baladev Vidyabhushan, they all are present in the similar way. When it comes to defending the Vaishnava philosophy, they all stand together and they all refute the Mayavada philosophy. So, Alavandar, that is Yamunacharya, he gives a very beautiful story to explain what is this Advaita and what is this Vishishta Advaita. That is the difference. Because ultimately Shankaracharya, he takes this philosophy from Vedas, and Ramanujacharya, he also establishes his philosophy from Shastra only, and Madhvacharya, and then Gaudiya Sampradaya Acharyas, they all establish their philosophy from the Shastra only. So now Yamunacharya, he explains how to understand this Advaita, and there is a difference and there is non-difference. What does it mean? There was a king, Chola king, and then what happened? A poet, he comes and then he praises the king. He says, Yata Chola Nripa Samrat Advitiya Asya Bhutale. He says this verse. Oh Chola, King Chola, there is no one except you. There is no second one except you. Then the king was very pleased, and then he gave 1,000 gold coin to the king, to that poet, and then he went. And then now the second poet comes, and then he comes and he tries to find the fault, because unless you find the fault, you will not get the more prize money. So he tries to find the fault. He says, this poet has cheated you. He said, there is no second thing except you. Why? You don't have any second thing. You have your queen, you have your sons, you have your children, you have your kingdom, you have your treasure, you have your country, you have your kingsmen, you have your citizens. So all these people, they exist. But this fellow has cheated you. He said, there is nothing second than you. Then the king, he realized, yes, I made a mistake. Okay, call that poet. The poet comes back. King said, how can you say there is no second thing except me? There are children, my children are there, my queens are there, my kingdom is there. How can you say there is no second thing except me? Then the poet says, yes, again I'm telling you, there is nothing second except you. The king was very furious. I'm going to kill you. Then the poet explained, you see, understand, there is nothing, there is no second like you. The king, along with his queen, along with his children, along with his paraphernalia, along with his kingdom, like you, there is no second king like you. So now king understood. He said, okay, take another 1,000 gold coins and you can go. So this is what Advaita and the different Vishishta Advaita, whatever the Vaishnava says. Adi Shankara, he says, there is nothing except Brahman. Brahma Satya, there is nothing except Brahman. Only Brahman is there. And then what Vaishnava Acharya says, yes, there is only Lord. But Lord, along with his qualities, along with his Shaktis, along with his Jiva, there is nothing like Lord. So in one word, if you want to understand, it's like Advaita philosophy is like nothing except you, and then Vaishnava philosophy is like nothing like you. So both look similar, nothing except you and nothing like you. So they want to save the Brahman from getting down. So they say there is nothing except Brahman. And we also say there is nothing except Lord, but everything is in Lord. So in this way, we understand the Achintya Veda Tattva in this explanation. This is given by Yamanacharya. And then in Jivatma, there are many Jivatmas. There is not only one Jivatma. Because when you say one Jivatma, who is that Jivatma? That's what here the next explanation is. If you say there is only one Atma, like Advaitavadis, they say there is Brahman, there is only Ekam, there is only one Brahman, there is no second Brahman also, there is only one Atma. Because that Atma is covered by ignorance, now the Atma is bewildered and it is in the material world. When the Atma understands that he is the Supreme Brahman, then he gets liberation and there is no more bandha for him. And there is only one Brahman, that is what they say. And then now Shankara was giving a lecture. He says there is only one Atma and there is only one Brahman, and if it gets jnana, if it gets knowledge, it will be liberated. So a person, he stands up and he asks, okay, you say there is only one Atma, so why I should hear lecture, why I should practice devotion? Because anyway, one Atma, if one Atma realizes, then everyone will get liberation, right? So why I should practice? Then Shankara says, we don't know that Atma is in which body. If that Atma is in your body, then we cannot get liberation. So everyone should do this, this spiritual life, then only we will get liberation. In this way, he just shattered him with some answer, but that is not the real answer. Now Krishna and Arjuna, they are discussing. In this discussion, Ramanujacharya is asking question. Okay, you say there is only one Atma. Now, who is that real Atma? Is it Krishna is the real Atma or Arjuna is the real Atma? If Krishna is the real Atma, then why Krishna is teaching to the false Arjuna's Atma? If Arjuna is false, then why Krishna has to teach to a false person? Krishna doesn't have to teach to a false thing because anyway it is false. So why do you teach to a false thing? If you say, no, Arjuna is true and Krishna is false, then if Krishna is false, then why Krishna is teaching Bhagavad Gita and we don't have to hear Bhagavad Gita at all? So we should accept the second thing. There is nothing like only one thing. Like Brahmavadis, they argue there is only one thing. There is nothing second. Like they given this example of moon reflecting on different objects. So for this, you need a moon and you need different objects and you need a light. You need your eyes to see that. So in this way, there are many objects are needed. So this Brahmavada has no any base. They can go on speaking logically, but they don't have any base to establish their philosophy. And then the second question is, if Krishna they say, if you are a realized person, that means you are Advaitavadi. So they say Krishna is the real Advaitavadi because he is self-realized. Ultimately, at least he should be self-realized to teach this Bhagavad Gita Jnana. So we ask this question, okay, is it Krishna realize the self or not? Is it Krishna realize that Advaita Jnana or not? Yes, Krishna has realized Advaita Jnana. If Krishna has realized Advaita Jnana, then why he is teaching to Arjuna, who is false? Then they give a very nice analogy. They say it's called Bhadita Anuvritti. Bhadita Anuvritti means we see a mirage water and then we start running to catch the mirage water. And our friend comes and he says, okay, don't chase after this mirage water because it is false. He gives us knowledge. Okay, now we understand this mirage water doesn't exist, it is false. But still, after getting this knowledge also, when you see the mirage water, it exists. It is not that after understanding the mirage water doesn't exist. After hearing also, you see the mirage water. After understanding also, you see the mirage water. In the similar way, even though Krishna understands, he has realized that he is the ultimate Brahman and there is nothing exists, everything is false. So in the similar way, but still he sees Arjuna as a soul and then he teaches. It's like, it is called Bhadita Anuvritti. You hear, you understand, but you still see the mirage water. In the similar way, Krishna realized, he understood about the Advaita Jnana, but he still sees the Arjuna as a different entity, as a different Atma, and he's teaching. That is the argument. Then we give a answer. Yes, okay, he can see the mirage water, After understanding also, he can see the mirage water. That doesn't mean he will again run after the water. Once he understood this mirage water is false, at least even though he sees, he will not run after that mirage water. The similar way, if Krishna understood that Arjuna is false, then he will not try to teach Arjuna, because anyway he is false. So at least he will stop teaching Arjuna. So in this way, this Advaita Vada doesn't exist. We should understand, we have to accept there are many souls, unlimited souls, and there is a difference between soul and super soul. There is a difference between soul, super soul, and this Prakriti, and Lord has unlimited qualities that we have to accept from various scriptural references. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Yoko Bhaganam Yovidadati Kaman. This is a very famous statement from Upanishad. And there are hundreds of statements like this. Like we have another example, like we have a doctor, we have a patient, we have a disease, we have a medicine, and we have a healthy life. It is not that you are the doctor, you are the patient, you are the disease, you are the medicine, and you are the healthy life. We should accept many things. In the similar way, when they say we have ignorance, and then we take a guru, we take lesson from guru, and then we get realized, and then we get liberated. So there should be a doctor, there should be a guru who is different from the patient. There is a medicine, and there is a healthy life, and there is a diseased life. So there's a difference. We cannot say the doctor, the patient, the disease, the medicine, the cure, everything is same. We cannot say that is the Advaita Vada. So it doesn't stand. This Advaita Vada doesn't stand for a long time. So in this way, Krishna is teaching in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita itself that the Atma's eternity, and there are many Atmas. Even after liberation, the Atma continues to exist in a separated manner, and also this Atma doesn't get destroyed at any point of time, and this Atma has the quality of the Lord. Even though the Atma has the quality of the Lord, the Atma can never become like the Lord. That is the ultimate understanding. So in this one shloka, we can understand the whole philosophy of Achintya Bheda Bheda, and every Acharya, they try to explain their philosophy in this one shloka. So he shows the difference between the Atma and Paramatma. He shows the eternity of the soul. So this is a simple point that we should understand from the shloka. And then the next shloka is Dehinosminita Dehe Kaumaram Yavanam Jara Tatat Dehantara Prapti Dhiras Tatrana Mukhyati. This is also very, very important shloka. Now Arjuna is asking, okay, Krishna, you have established that soul is eternal, that soul cannot be destroyed. Okay, soul always exists. But what about the body? Anyway, the bodies we are going to get, the body we are going to destroy. Like when I see Bhishma, Drona, I'm going to kill them and their bodies will perish. Their bodies will be destroyed. So I'm worried for their body. So how do you reconcile that? Then Krishna is speaking the next shloka, and this we will see on Monday, how Krishna is explaining this concept very nicely. So I guess I could explain the philosophy, whatever I wanted to explain in English language, in my broken English language. If you cannot understand, no problem, because we are going to hear the full Bhagavad Gita. When you understand the full Bhagavad Gita, you'll understand the whole picture. But today it was like little bit philosophical, not much. If you go to Vedanta Sutra, we have this kind of discussions everywhere, and if you go to Upanishads, we have only this kind of description. And Krishna has cut short at all the descriptions. He just gave the conclusions. He did not go through different kinds of discussion. If at all we have to go through, then we can read Upanishad itself. Krishna did not make us to go through all the sufferings. He just gave very important points, and then directly into bhakti, he will immerse in the bhakti path. So we'll see again you all on Monday. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki